Hey, Cuba Kids, Mrs. Hoffer here to work with you on today's English language knowledge lesson. Friends, today we are going to be doing a review together of all the really important facts and pieces of information, the vocabulary, all the really important things we've learned so far in this unit about Columbus and the Pilgrims and their great journeys across the ocean to find the new world and new land. Friends, the goals of today are that you will know key facts, so important facts and things about early explorers, including why they wanted to travel to Asia. So you'll know important facts about why people from Columbus's time were trying to travel to Asia. You'll understand who the separatists were and why they were leaving England for North America. And friends, you will be able to describe the Pilgrims' relationship with the Wampanoag and what the first Thanksgiving was. Let's get started. So to begin, Kibo Cubs, I want you to tell me, what's the name of the continent that is circled right there in this map? That's right, my friends. Good job. The continent that is circled is Europe, where the explorers like Columbus and the separatists were coming from. Remember, Columbus was coming from the country of Spain, and we learned over 100 years later, when the separatists who became pilgrims were coming to North America, they were coming from the country of England, both of which are in Europe. Good job, friends. People Cubs, tell me, what's this country, this continent that is circled? That's right, my friends. This is Asia, which includes the Indies. This is where Columbus and his fellow explorers and crew members were trying to find when they were on their westward voyage. Good job. Now, friends, lastly, remind me, what's this continent that's circled? Fantastic, my friends. That's right. This is Africa. This is the third continent that was already discovered by Europeans during Columbus's time. And remember, when Columbus's fellow explorers were traveling eastward, they had to travel around Africa to get to the Indies right here. Good job, my friends. All right, people cubs, tell me now, why did the early European explorers, so Columbus and his crew members and fellow explorers, why did they want to travel to Asia? What were they searching for? Awesome job, my friends. That's right. They were searching for things like we see here, like unique spices and things like gold and treasure. Good job, friends. Okay, friends. So in this picture, we see Columbus addressing a king and queen who would be the people who ultimately gave him the funds, so the money, to set sail on his westward voyages towards Asia. Can you tell me, Kibo Cubs, who are the king and queen in this picture that are being pointed at with these pink arrows? That's right, my friends. In this picture, we see King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. Good job. Friends, who is this explorer that we see here on our page, who made his first trip westward in 1492 when he was attempting to find the continent of Asia? Who is it? That's right, Kiva Cubs. Good job. This is Christopher Columbus. You can even see his boats in the background. Kiva Cubs, remind me, what were the names of the three boats he sailed? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. That's right, my friends. Good job. Friends, we just went over the names of the three ships that he sailed, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Columbus sailed on the biggest ship. Remind me, what was the ship that Columbus sailed on? The Santa Maria. That's right. And that's the boat that he sailed on when they were crossing the Atlantic. A very long journey. They dealt on this journey, they dealt with big storms, and it actually took a lot longer than they had originally hoped for or anticipated. So long that the crew began to lose hope. They thought that they would never find land. So when the Pinta spotted land, that was the first boat to spot land, they were all gleeful, and we saw that they were cheering and so excited that they had safely and successfully made it across the Atlantic. Friends, in this area here in orange, we see the area that Christopher Columbus thought that he had landed in. Can you remind me, what is this area? That's right, my friends. This is the Indies in the continent of Asia. And Christopher Columbus, even though he didn't land there, always thought that that is actually where he had landed because he was trying to sail westward to find the treasure and spices that the land of Asia and the Indies were rich with. But Keeble Cubs, remind me, where was it that Christopher Columbus actually ended up setting sail to? That's right, my friends, the Americas. So all of these countries we see here, but this little area in the blue here is actually specifically the area he landed in. And he landed in a place that is now the Bahamas, San Salvador. He always thought that he was in Asia, however. He died thinking that the places he landed on his voyages were Asia. Good job, friends. Okay, friends, now on our screen, we see a calendar with a big green arrow down there pointing at a date. And the date is what? October what? 12th. That's right, my friends. Can you remind me, why is that October 12th an important date? Good job, Keeble Cubs. That's right. October 12th is important because October 12th is Columbus Day. Good job, Cubs. And tell me, friends, why do we still celebrate Columbus, so on Columbus Day, this national holiday, on October 12th, even though Columbus lived over 400, 500 years ago? That's right, my friends. We still celebrate Columbus on October 12th because it was October 12th of 1492 that Columbus officially landed in America for the very first time after his long trip westward across the Atlantic Ocean. Good job, friends. Now, Keeble Cubs, remind me, what happened throughout Columbus's journeys westward after his first one? Was he ever actually successful in finding the big amount of gold and spices that he had set out to find in Asia? No, friends, that's right. He didn't. He was unable to find all the golds and spices that Asia was so rich with. And why was he unable to find all of these things? Because he wasn't actually in Asia. That's right, friends. Good job. Friends, we learned that on Columbus's subsequent trips, so the ones after his first one in 1492, when he ventured further into the Americas and called his new land Hispaniola, we learned that he claimed it as his, and that Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand had actually allowed him to govern this land, so be in charge of it for his future journeys, as long as he was able to bring them back what he went for, the riches of Asia, the golden spices. But that's not actually what ended up happening, friends. Remember, he never got the amount of golds and spices that he had set out and promised the king and queen. He also ended up not being very nice, like we see in these pictures, to the native people, so the people who were originally from the land that he had landed in. So we heard a specific word that we learned, that he treated these people cruelly, Keeble Cubs. He was not nice to them. He, in fact, forced them, so he enslaved them to do very, very hard work for them, like by mining, trying to find the golds and spices he set out for with little to no pay. Now, friends, we also have to review the Pilgrims and the Separatists, who are, again, remember, the same people. Remind me, when do we call the Pilgrims instead of the Separatists? When they decided to make their pilgrimage across the Atlantic Ocean. That's right, for religious freedoms. Good job, friends. They were called the Separatists when they were still separate in England and refusing to practice under the Church of England as their king had enforced. So it's important to remember the separatists, like we see here in this picture, were a group of people who refused to observe or follow the same religion under the Church of England as the king because it is not what they believed in, people cubs. To escape the rule of the king, they made a pilgrimage, so a journey, a long journey for religious freedom across the Atlantic Ocean. So, after they arrived in America, friends, their long journey or pilgrimage, they were no longer the separatists, they were the pilgrims. Friends, tell me, what's the name of this famous rock we see here that they landed on in Massachusetts? That's right. This is the first place they landed in the US, in North America. And the name of this rock is Plymouth Rock, like the Plymouth port that they left from in England. Good job, friends. Remember, this name is very important because we see it from the port name. They named the first place they landed Plymouth Rock, and they also ended up naming the colony that they lived in the Plymouth Colony. Friends, lastly, remind me something very important. What was the name of the ship that they sailed their pilgrimage across the Atlantic Ocean? That's right, my friends. Good job. The name of this ship was the Mayflower. Repeat that with me. The Mayflower. Good job, friends. Friends, we also learned something very important about the first year of the new colony in America for the Pilgrims. Who helped the Pilgrims stay safe and alive when they arrived in the new land, Keeble Cubs? That's right, my friends, the Wampanoag, a native tribe to the area. Good job. The Pilgrims were new to the land and environment, so they were unaware of how to find and create necessities to keep them alive. The Wampanoag people were from the land, so they were native to the land and had lived there for many years before the arrival of the Pilgrims. So they helped them survive the first year with their shelter, assisting with growing and sharing food, and helping them get through their first rough, very cold northeastern winter. Good job, friends. The Wampanoag people also helped the Pilgrims by teaching them how to grow essential crops that can be grown and thrive on the type of land that they were living, such as like we see right here in the picture from yesterday's story, helping them grow corn. Good job, friends. Friends, remember, after successfully living through their first year and making it through their very first difficult winter, the Pilgrims hosted a 3-day harvest celebration where they invited the Wampanoag people to share the meal and say thanks. Keeble Cubs, remind me, what's the name of this celebration? Thanksgiving. That's right, my friends. Good job. They invited the Native American Wampanoag tribe to give them thanks for being such an important part of their ability to thrive and stay alive in the new land over their first year. The friends and neighbors shared a harvest meal to thank each other, which we still celebrate every year to this day, like we said, and call it the Festival of Thanksgiving. Good job, friends. And friends, remember the 3-day harvest celebration, like we see here in this picture, is what we know now is likely the first Thanksgiving in American history. Okay, friends, quickly, I want to review some terms and vocabularies that we heard throughout this whole domain because it's really important that we understand and comprehend the meaning of these words in case we are to see them in future assessments. Make sure you pay extra close attention because we need to be able to understand and completely what these words mean before we are done the domain after today's review and tomorrow's assessment. So to begin, friends, here we see the word spices, right down there, spices. Say the word with me, friends, spices. Good job. Keeble Cubs, why is the word spices an important word from this unit? Can you tell me? That's right, friends. Good job. Spices is important, and we heard this a lot in this unit because these are the things that we heard was one of the most important things, actually, that Columbus was looking for as he sailed westward trying to find Asia. Good job, friends. Friends, right here, we see the word navigator. Say it with me, navigator. Good job. We learned it in this unit. We see a picture of a ship navigator on a ship that would look like a ship from today in this picture right here. Friends, remind me, do you know what the navigator of a ship does? What is he responsible for? Exactly, my friends, that's right. A navigator of a ship is someone who is responsible for making sure the ship stays on course so that they are going on the proper route and that they are doing it safely. So it is their job to navigate, make sure that the ship is going, sailing in the right direction, and that they stay safe. Good job, friends. Here, Keeble Cubs, we see the word crew. And we say the word crews if we're talking about more than one crew. Friends, we heard the word crew or crews a lot in this unit because, Keeble Cubs, a crew or crews are the people who work on the ship. And they work together to make sure this ship safely gets from one point, so the starting point, all the way to its finishing point or final destination. So for example, the people that we see here in this picture, that's the whole crew that is responsible for making sure that the ship behind them gets to wherever they're supposed to be going in the world safely and efficiently. Good job, friends. Keeble Cubs, here we see the word rulers. Say that with me, rulers. That's right. Friends, do you remember what the word rulers means? That's right, friends. Good job. Rulers are the people who literally make the rules. Or they're the ones in charge of the land or kingdom that they live in. So, for example, friends, the rulers that we see in this picture are royal. And can you tell me what types of rulers you think this man and woman on the screen are? That's right. They're a king and queen. Good job. We heard lots about King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, the rulers of Spain in this unit, because they were the one who assisted Columbus getting on his trips westward. Good job, friends. Friends, here we see the word shore. Say the word shore with me. Shore. Good job. Keeble Cubs, can you remind me, what's a shore? That's right, my friends. Good job. A shore is the land that meets the end of a body of water, like we see here down there. So it's the land at the very end of the beach that meets with the ocean. Sometimes you hear people call it the shoreline. We heard this a lot in this unit because when the explorers had reached their destinations, the shore is where they first meet land after their long trip across the ocean. Friends, below me, we see the word historian. Say it with me, historian. Friends, do you remember what a historian is? What did they study? That's right, friends. A historian studies history. Good job. So they are responsible for studying the people and places and events that happened in past time, so in history. Because of historians, Keeble Cubs, that is why we are able to know all these amazing facts about Columbus and the pilgrims and the trips they made hundreds of years ago before our times. So remember, friends, historians study things of the past. History. Historians study history. Good job, friends. Friends, in this unit, we also heard this word right there, native. Say it with me, native. Good job. Friends, when we heard it in this unit, we were often referring to the Native American people. Native, my friends, just means a thing or a person that was born or from a specific place. So we call the Wampanoag tribe, for example, Native Americans because they were the people who were originally born and raised in the land before the Europeans had ever discovered it. It is where they were born, raised, and from. Just like the Pilgrims are native to England because that's where they are from. Good job, friends. Keeble, right there we see the word colonies. Say it with me, colonies. Good job. A colony, Keeble Cubs, or colonies, which is more than one colony, is an area of land that is ruled or controlled by another country that is typically far away and has settlers or people from those other countries who have moved to this new land and now rule this area of land as their own. So, Keeble Cubs, for example, we heard about the Plymouth colony in our read alouds. That was the area of land that the Pilgrims had settled in when they came to America and had rule over, even though they weren't the people that were native to the land, like the Wampanoag tribe. So, simply put, a colony, Keeble Cubs, is an area of land or place that is ruled by someone or a country that is not the country that land or the people reside in. Good job. Friends, here we see the word chief. Say the word chief with me. Good job. A chief, Keeble Cubs, we heard in this unit's read aloud a lot. A chief, remember, friends, is like a head or a captain of the tribe. They are the ones responsible for ruling that group of people. So, for example, we heard about Chief Squanto in this unit's read alouds, and he was one of the chiefs of the Wampanoag tribe. Good job, friends. Okay, friends, we're about to finish our review, but before we do it, there are a few more words that I want to review. To begin, let's review the word fascinated, Keeble Cubs. Friends, can you remind me, what does fascinated mean? That's right, my friends. Good job. Fascinated, simply put, means that you're really, really interested in a particular thing. So, for example, Mrs. Hoffer loves elephants. I am fascinated by elephants because I love hearing all about the different ways they live and how they eat and drink. So I'm very, very curious and interested. I'm fascinated. Another word we heard is courage. Keeble Cubs, what do you think courage means? That's right, friends. Courage, to be courageous, is when you're really brave, when you're doing something that might be difficult or scary, and you're doing it anyways. It takes a lot of courage to do something That's right, my friends. Good job. Another word we should review is the word celebration. Keeble Cubs, do you know what a celebration is? That's right, my friends. Good job. A celebration is a type of party that we have that is typically held on a certain special day or a holiday. So, for example, if we have a party on our birthday, that is a celebration because we are celebrating our birthday. Good job, friends. Keeble Cubs, can you remind me what's the word victorious mean? To be victorious? That's right, friends. We heard victorious, and victorious, friends, means to win at something. So you feel victorious, you feel really confident and amazing, let's say, after you might have won your soccer game. Or if you were really afraid to take a test and you did really well, or you leave the test feeling really confident, you feel victorious for accomplishing something that was grand. And lastly, friends, let's review the word ashamed. Can you remind me, what does ashamed mean, friends? That's right. To be ashamed, Keeble Cubs, means basically that you're embarrassed or you don't feel good about the way you did something or treated someone. So, for example, Keeble Cubs, if I said something to my friend that hurt her feelings and made her cry, I would be ashamed of speaking that way to my friends because I'd be ashamed of hurting my friend's feelings. All right, Keeble Cubs, great job reviewing all the very important things we learned so far in our domain. I hope you're ready for tomorrow's assessment. See you later, friends.